What's happening? This is Joshua Buatsi and you're watching Sporting Icons.
Okay, so Joshua Buatsi has returned to Sky Sports, this time in Birmingham, and took on Pawel Stepien. Stepien was 18-0 with one draw, 12 of those 18 wins by knockouts. On paper, looked pretty good. Now, if you dissect the record a little bit, not brilliant, but it's acceptable. Now, Joshua Buatsi has been out of the ring for, about a year now? It must be about a year since he fought Craig Spider Richards. Now, in this performance, of course, I was expecting something like the older Joshua Buatsi. I was expecting a bit more aggression. That's something that we didn't get. And the reason why I expected that is because he's been with Virgil Hunter for a little while now. Of course, Virgil Hunter, he likes his pure boxers. And I think you could see that with Joshua Buatsi. He is adding to his game. His punch selection is much better than maybe what it was beforehand. But it's almost like at a cost to his aggression. Joshua Buatsi has been carrying around a reputation for a little while of he's a nice guy, he's a God-fearing man. And when he steps through the ropes, he switches, turns into predator. Okay? We haven't really seen that over his last couple of fights. We haven't. Ever since he's been with Virgil Hunter, if we're being honest about it. But it could be that he's working on new things. And when the time comes for him to step up to world level, maybe he'll marry it all together. The aggression is going to be in him, that killer instinct and whatever else. It's going to be there. So maybe you can just mash it all together with the boxing skill. Hit, don't get hit. And when you hurt your opponent, jump all over him. But in this one, it wasn't the most electrifying performance. But I kind of thought that it might be because of the whole headlines, if you like, about Joshua Buatsi leaving DAZN, the app, to go onto a mainstream channel like Sky Sports for more notice and all that kind of thing. So I was expecting a little bit more, that's for sure. Now, unfortunately for Sky and Boxer, they're going to get some criticism for this main event because there was no knockout. Okay, boxing fans, they like knockouts, they like entertaining fights. They like to see fighters bounce up and down off the canvas, they do. With the last couple of signings, Joshua Buatsi and Lawrence Okolie, for example, hasn't exactly set the world alight. Now, in time, that may change, okay? But with Joshua Buatsi, I would like to see him step up now and start mashing it all together. Now, don't be so cautious, okay? Get your opponents out of there. Now, I think he did need the rounds. I mean, being out of the ring for all this time, he's going to need the rounds, of course, because if he ends up fighting, say, Joe Smith Jr. next or something like that, there's a very real chance he could go into the distance. It could do. So getting those rounds in the bank is certainly helpful. And against Pawel Stepien, not exactly a dangerous opponent, or it didn't appear to be. I mean, his record would suggest that it should be, but in the ring, didn't exactly look like that. So Buatsi can try the new things, see what works, see what doesn't, and all that kind of good stuff. So when it comes to him fighting, I don't know, even Anthony Yard, okay, great domestic fight, is Anthony Yard world level? Some would say yes, some would say no. But if that fight was to happen, maybe we could see Buatsi put it all together. We can have that new skill set, if you like, the boxing ability, the punch selection, but aggression thrown in. Maybe we're going to see the complete boxer at some point. Hopefully, he hasn't left that aggression behind and is now just going the Virgil Hunter way, which is hit and don't get hit. Hopefully. So anyway, listen, he got back in the ring, he got his win, didn't really set the world alight. It's not the kind of fight that people would watch back. I think most people can agree on that one. But ultimately, he got the win. That's the most important thing. At the end of the day, it's the boxer at record. That's what people like to see, isn't it? Are they ever going to remember this fight? No, probably not. But going forward, let's see. Let's see. He says he's ready for him. Okay, let's see what happens in the next fight. Who's he going to fight? Should he fight Dan Aziz? As a boxing fan, yeah, I'd love to see that fight. But personally, I think, take that part out of me, they should kind of wait. If Joshua Buatsi can get a world title, for example, or get a final eliminator, however it's going to be, then of course a fight with Dan Aziz would make sense. A fight for the European title right now? No. I think both of them should look for a little bit higher than that. They should. So anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens with Joshua Buatsi next. Congratulations to him. Not the most exciting performance in the world, and he's going to get a lot of criticism. He will. But let's see what happens next. Drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.